Alright. So let's start the conversation, y'all. Hi, how you doing? Good morning. Well, I guess I could say good afternoon. It is, let me make sure, is my camera like, hold on, y'all. I feel like you're not really in there, right? Yeah, you kind of are. I think you're okay. Are y'all okay? I think you're okay. On my way to Trader Joe's right now, and I figured I have like about a 22-minute drive out there, so I figured let me get up on here. And I did promise one of my subscribers, a shout out to you, that I would talk about, continue a little bit more about Jamie and Nikki's situation or whatever. And lucky for me, so I missed when Nikki posted her little, I guess, I was gonna say countersuit, her response to things that Jamie had said. And my stance on it at the time, before she even posted anything, I didn't see her post, number one. I guess it was on Instagram. I don't follow her on Instagram, and I've actually been making a lot of changes to my Instagram in regards to like who I'm following, and like, you know, that's another conversation for another day. But anyway, so I guess like she just posted like a whole dissertation type of situation on her stories, which is kind of weird in my opinion, but whatever. But I did catch like other people kind of talking about and reading her response, because you know the internet is quick and people will screenshot your things and like they will not miss a beat, you know what I mean? So I found some people that talked about her response or whatever. And at the time, so before she even said anything, I was definitely, based on, because I am an OG fan, right, of them too, or subscriber, supporter, or whatever you want to call it. And based on what they gave us, like their vlogs and, you know, about their personalities and like, you know, things that they said or whatever, I was definitely kind of swaying on, not to say their sides, but I was resonating, like things that Jamie was saying to me, I believed him. I believed him basically with his concerns and this and that, and like the things that he was going through, and like how he felt at the moment, and times when like things were getting really, really rough with them, between them two or whatever. When I heard what people were saying about what Nikki said as a response, it didn't quite make too much sense to me, her response, and it wasn't really, I don't know, I just didn't, I guess in a nutshell, I wasn't believing it, because it seemed like to me, like, you know, there are a lot of women out here, and I've met a lot of toxic women, and I have been around toxic men and women. I've dated a lot of toxic men, and I have associated with a lot of toxic women. And what I find with toxic women, they all have kind of like the same traits, you know what I mean? They say a lot, but at the same time, they're not saying much at all. So like her explanation to a lot of things that Jamie was bringing up, to me, like from what people were reading her response, it just wasn't adding up, and it wasn't really making sense. It more seemed like, to me, like almost like she was trying to kind of cover things, and it just wasn't making sense, you know what I mean? So like after I seen that, I'm like, and then I found out afterwards, that's when I saw that Jamie had taken down the video. In my mind, seeing that he had taken down his video, his first video, I was thinking like, oh, she probably dove in his ass and like maybe made things even more difficult for him when it comes to like the girls and seeing the girls or whatever, or maybe she got the law involved or whatever, and that's why he had taken down the video. Those were my assumptions. At one point she said that he took down the video because he realized that people weren't siding with him and this and that, and I'm like, it just sounded weird to me. Everything she was saying just sounded weird to me, with the explanation of like the I'm sorry, what am I saying? The explanation that she had for the birthday thing, the Disney World trip, or his birthday. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. This road is like really, really terrible. It just wasn't adding up. Like, her explanation just seemed like a bunch of fluff, to be honest with y'all. Like, it didn't really align with like what he was saying. And I feel like his version of the situation was a lot more believable than her version of it. And then, you know, I think thankfully Jamie decided to post a second response video, and he says it's gonna be his last one, which I think is a great idea. Like, you know what I mean, just get it and it is what it is or whatever. I think people kind of now can see, you know, what's going on here. Jamie again came with more receipts. Like, Nikki didn't come with one receipt at all. So it's kind of like, what are you even, like, what are you defending here? What are you even talking about? You know, the whole hitting thing, and I don't know. I just feel like, what I want to say, I just feel like, to be honest with you guys, I feel like a lot of these couple situations or whatever unnecessarily become toxic. From my view, I feel that Nikki seems to be a little bit bitter, upset about like her circumstances and why her circumstances are what they are. I think she feels guilty. And when toxic women feel guilty, they tend to lash out and blame. And they do things, I've witnessed it firsthand, of them like, doing things just out of spite, right? Making their spouse's life difficult just out of spite. I commend Jamie for posting another video. I commend him for doubling down on, you know, defending himself and who he is or whatever. I think that real people that really watch them and like, that were true fans of their show, like, are able to see that Jamie is not the type of person that I think Nikki was trying to paint him as, or make it seem like he was, you know, like behind the scenes. When she came like talking about how he's not giving her video footage of her sister and this and that, and I remember like her sister was like something that was really, her sister was an important person to her, which understandably, you know what I mean, she was a sick girl. And then making it seem like he is intentionally, you know, holding back the material or destroy the videos or whatever. That doesn't even sound like Jamie. Like, that's how I knew that she was totally bullshit. When she started talking about her sister and how he did this and how malicious he's being about the footage of her sister, that's when I knew she's bullshit. She's full of shit, 100%. Because like, why would only a monster would do something like that? Only a monster would intentionally hold that type of footage from you. Look, so you mean to tell me that you married a monster? You had 2 kids with a complete monster? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. You know, and then Jamie came back out to say like, no, she has the footage that I was able to salvage of her sister. You know what I mean? I think it's really disgusting how you could be in a situation, how people, not even just women, men too, y'all be in a loving situation, a loving relationship or whatever, and just because things went left for whatever reason, now you want to lie and fabricate and make things seem like something that they're not. It's weird to me. It's really, really weird behavior. I think it's like borderline some kind of like a mental health situation. I don't know if I'm able to say that or whatever, but it's just weird that just because you're angry, now you want to paint the other person out to be like a crazed animal or like an asshole, like a complete asshole, you know what I mean? thankfully, I feel like if they didn't have all the footage, or like the OGs, or people that really were loyal to watching their vlogs, like people that don't know anything about who they were, whatever, 100% jump on the Nikki bandwagon, because that's what this society does. They believe the women despite whatever's going on, which I get, you know what I mean? Men do a lot of effed up things in general, right? But I feel like there are still good men out there. They exist, you know what I mean? And I feel that Nikki had a good man, and for whatever reason she decided to throw that away, and I think she feels a little bit embarrassed by it, you know what I mean? Like, this did not have to be your life. She could have been like living really, 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 really good and really comfortable, you know? You know, when it came to the business accounts and talking about how he changed the passwords and he did this and he did that, you know, it just didn't sound believable to me. It sounded like a scorned woman. Is scorn the right word I want to use? Like a woman that's just really, like, you know, jaded for whatever reason, you know what I mean? I don't think that that is how, I mean, I feel, and I, you know, a little bit more of my personal opinion when it comes to their relationship. I also think that them in particular I'm talking about, but this is also like, could be a blanket statement too for like other people in general and women. Like, I am definitely about women having some form of independence in general in life, right? And I do think that at the time when they were together, Nikki was living the ultimate soft life from my perspective, right? And I feel that if she had taken some sort of, had like the drive or taken some sort of initiative, whatever, to kind of have her own, aside from like what they were building together, I think it's really, really important for, like, when you have a family or you have a partner or whatever, yes, you guys are building a life together, but I think it is crucial for both individuals to have like some sort of foundation for themselves as an individual, you know what I mean? So that when things go left, hopefully when things go left, if things were to go left, like, you wouldn't be so upset with the other person because like now you have to kind of start over, everything's in disarray, like, you know what I mean? I think that if she had her own kind of career, had her own flow or her own money or whatever, yes, she did her little modeling thing here and there on the side, but like really had her own stuff going on, she wouldn't be sitting here trying to go for his YouTube channel, being spiteful about the kids being online, or him making the money that she knows that he was making, you know what I mean? She would be kind of like, they would be on the same page. She would also be doing the same thing, making her money, going back to her work and doing whatever she gotta do. But it seemed like to me that she was kind of, yes, they were a team, right? They were partners, they were doing things together, but Jamie was definitely the lead in that team. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was the, how do I say it? Like, he was putting in most of the work. And I feel that if she was doing equal amount of work or whatever, she wouldn't be as upset in this situation. She would be able to move on confidently and not have a desire to kind of make somebody else's life hell. In my mind, I feel like if you have your own stuff going on, and yes, you know, life may not have turned out how you want it turned out for whatever reason, but if you have your own stuff going on, your own career, your own money, your own something or another, you would have no desire to kind of destroy somebody else's life. Do you know what I mean? Like, you would be thinking a little bit differently. And I feel that not having her own at that time was definitely part of Nikki's kind of drive to be turned into this like crazed person. Yeah, that's how I feel. And I feel like women nowadays need to have their own. ladies. Like, when you're in a relationship with somebody, just don't be in total bliss and kind of closing your eyes to the potential of what could happen in the future. You know what I mean? You should be preparing yourself for, not to say things gonna go left, you're gonna break up and you can't have a happy home or whatever, but if you have your own, like, you're not as spiteful and resentful if you have your own things going on, right? Because for me, I couldn't imagine, like, I've been through some situations that really, really, really suck. But because I have my own money going on, my own kind of career, or I'm kind of building myself, or, you know, going somewhere in my life, I have my own ambitions or whatever, I don't have any desire to destroy somebody else, because I wouldn't want somebody to come and try to destroy what I got going on. You see what I'm saying? Kind of like the golden rule, treat others the way that you want to be treated. So I couldn't imagine myself being so spiteful to want to make somebody else's life difficult. When it comes to kids and like the schooling and this and that, like, you know, her trying to put him down, saying you don't have much going on, let's be honest with you, like basically trying to like pull on his mental state and see if you could drag him down. Why would you want to drag your baby father down to make it feel like almost like, I think she was like kind of pushing him, if he was a weak-minded person, towards SI. You know what I mean? Like, if your significant other is saying you got mental health issues and you ain't got nothing going on and I have more to lose than you, which is not true. It seemed like to me he had a lot more to lose than her. I don't know, just my perspective. That's just what I've been seeing. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's a beautiful woman. Yeah, you take good pictures, sponsor once because you're beautiful, but that's really it. What else does Nikki have going on except for a beautiful face? I'll wait. Like, for real. Like, you know, I don't know. That's how I feel. If you have nothing else going on except for a beautiful face, I don't think, she doesn't seem like a very good businesswoman. Maybe she is. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, she does like her little interior designing and decorating type thing, but she's never taken it anywhere. And if we're being honest, it's a little bit mediocre. It's just basic, you know, she just buys nice things and like things that match neutral colors and puts them together. And that creates an aesthetic that the internet will eat up. Like, even right now, she's posting, like, right after, like, she's a private person. Like, this, and to me, it just showed, like, her pettiness or childlikeness, or, like, I don't know, the same Nikki that Jamie let us know who she really is. Like, when she, apparently, after he had posted his second video, all of a sudden, she's posting a new man. What was the point of that? If you're so private, right? Like, I feel like that was just a shot at Jamie. You're a private woman, right? And I feel like the internet just eats those kind of things up. Like, oh, she's so happy, she's so this, she's so that. Like, I feel like the internet just hypes things up just to hype things up because it looks nice. You know what I mean? We don't know what's going on behind closed door. We don't know who that person is. We don't know anything about them, but because y'all seen a semblance of a man in her life, whatever, y'all think, oh, she's moving on, she's doing great, and F Jamie and this and that. Like, that's weird. That's weird. She doesn't show you guys anything about anything, but all of a sudden her ex is sitting here complaining about how his life is just so difficult now, and then she posts about how she's doing so good. I don't know. I definitely side with Jamie in this situation. I do feel bad for like what he's going through. Like, I really, really feel bad whenever I see a good man going through some BS, because some of these women are cold, you guys. Like, really, really cold. And I just feel bad when these women end up getting like a good, decent man and just running him through the mud. You know what I mean? I think that if Nikki wasn't so spiteful or doing the little sneaky things that she does or whatever, they could have had like a really good, healthy co-parenting situation. I mean, allow the man to work. She won't even allow him to work in peace. You know what I mean? Like, that's weird. You know? So, I don't know. Shout out to the both of them, I guess. You know what I mean? This their life, not really mine. I'm just, you know, giving my little 2 cents or whatever. But I definitely want to say, like, people, anybody that might be watching me or whatever, like, I am definitely pro, like, being completely independent is ghetto, right? Obviously, you know, we want to have a man in our life or whatever, but being, like, relying on somebody, then messing up your relationship and doing something, and then being spiteful, I just don't agree with being spiteful, women. I don't agree with trying or aiming to destroy somebody's life or make their life as difficult as possible. Like, why do you want to do that? You have nothing better to do? Nothing? It's just sad and unfortunate. But my camera's gonna die soon, guys. That's really all that I had to say about that. Women, get your mind right, get your money up, and move on with grace. You know what I mean? There's no point in, like, I don't know, it's being mean and nasty. Anyways, I'm reaching my destination, guys. I think that's all I gotta say about that. Hopefully, you know, my subscriber got what she wanted out of this video. Shout out to you. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for kind of, you know, suggesting I make this video. And I will talk to y'all another time.